which flight simulator is my favorite and why. Today we're gonna find out by doing a flight sim tier list. So for reference, I have every flight sim I've played that I could remember, and then I have 2 others that I'll touch on when we get to them. But let's go ahead and start. First up, we have Flightline, which is in Roblox. And like I said, when we played it, it felt like a blend of Project Flight and PTFS. It didn't look great like PTFS. It had more features like Project Flight. So Flightline, I'm not gonna lie, none of the Roblox flight sims are good. This is, and for reference, this is all based on opinion. This is not based in reality. So it doesn't mean, oh, the most realistic is gonna get S+. That's not how it works. Flightline F tier, I'm sorry. Sue me. Actually, don't sue me. We're going straight to the big hitters. Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. Now, I am very biased about Flight Sim 2020. Very. This started my whole YouTube thing. So, you know where Microsoft Flight Sim's going. This sim has a wide variety. You can do a little bit of everything, like I mentioned in my which flight simulator is the best for you video. Literally, you can do a little bit of everything. And now there's the aerial refueling. There's tons of mods. The whole world is in it, and the whole world actually looks pretty decent straight off the bat. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 is by far my favorite flight sim, and it's not even close. That's S+. I don't care if you're mad. Sorry, we're gonna skip some of these. These are some other heavy hitters. So let's not go there. Let's go straight to VTOL VR. So VTOL VR, as it sounds like, is a VR flight sim. There's a lot of fighters and stuff. I know there's the F-35s in there, but you gotta use it in VR. Now, if any VR headset company wants to send me one, I will do a video on this. I have not played this. As I said, I put 2 in here that I didn't play because I wanted to just touch on them. I really do want to play VTOL VR. That's something I want to do. So I need to get a VR headset and I need to play it. If you guys want to see that, make sure you leave a comment. But because of that, we will leave VTOL VR in the bottom section just because I haven't played it, so I can't touch on that. But I really do want to. GFS. Now, this is the browser flight sim that, again, has the whole world in it. It doesn't look amazing, but it's free and you can use it in a browser. It doesn't have a ton of features as far as like interactability, things like that. It's not a great flight sim, but we have to be realistic about what's down here. I feel like GFS is a solid C tier. I could see it being C. I'm trying to think if there's any argument for it being better or worse. If anything, it should be D. It's definitely not a B, but it's not awful. It was enjoyable enough to fly. And the fact, oh yeah, this is an argument for it being in B, even though it's not gonna make B. You could argue it for it being in B because it does have connectability with hardware. So you can use your throttle and your rudder pedals and your stick, which is like, as far as I know, you can't even do that in Roblox. So that's a huge plus for GFS. So if you have some hardware, but you don't have, you don't want to spend money on a game or whatever, GFS is really good. Next up, let's go to War Thunder. Let's do War Thunder. I know War Thunder is a fan favorite of probably everyone that's in here right now, everyone that's watching the video. War Thunder is cool in a way, but it's definitely arcadey, which is fine because it's modeled like a game more than a simulator with how everything works. And it's very grindy. I'm not a big fan of grindy games. If I have to play a game for 100 hours to get like something decently good or spend a lot of money, that's not really my kind of game. I just want to be able to jump in and play. So I would agree that I would rather play it over GFS, but I wouldn't say it's a good flight sim either. I will go B tier. Doesn't have the whole world. That's a big thing with flight sims. To simulate it even in the slightest, you kind of have to have at least a map that you're never going to reach the edges of, or the whole world, which is what all the best flight sims have, the whole world. So that is going B tier. Next, we'll go to an older one here. A little bit of an older one, X-Plane 11. X-Plane 11, I have very limited hours in it, but I have flown the SR-71 in there because that's a really freaking cool plane. I feel similar about X-Plane 11 as I do to X-Plane 12 because there's a lot of crossover, but X-Plane 11 just looks significantly worse. That's the issue. But it's obviously it's one of the, it's one of the goats of all flight sims. So I feel like that's a solid A tier. It's a solid A tier. Because you got to remember, We have other things, such as its successor, that will have to be better than it. But X-Plane 11, very good flight sim. X-Plane 11 is going A tier. Solid flight sim, but there is things that were improved upon in X-Plane 12. This one might make some of you guys mad. We're going PTFS. We're going PTFS, Pilot Training Flight Simulator, which I believe is the most popular flight sim in Roblox. I think by a long shot, actually. And it sucks. I'm not gonna lie, it is absolute dookie, man. It is horrible. PTFS is legitimately terrible. It looks awful. The physics are awful. Everything's awful about PTFS. And there is a multitude. People always get mad because they're like, well, why don't you like a flight simulator that's free? GeoFS is also free. There's also other free flight sims that are leagues better that are free. So why are we playing PTFS? That's my question. That's that. I said my piece. Be mad at me in the comments if you want. That's my opinion. Let's go to a mobile one. Let's go to X-Plane. X-Plane Mobile. I played X-Plane Mobile the other day. I was getting footage for a video and I hadn't played it in a long time, but I was actually pleasantly surprised. I thought it was not bad at all. I flew in the Vision Jet, which is free. I know there's things you can buy in X-Plane Mobile, but I flew the Vision Jet and didn't have to pay anything and actually really enjoyed it. So my thought process here is, should we go... I think we have to go somewhere in C with GeoFS. X-Plane Mobile. I'm gonna go GeoFS, but one below. I'm gonna go C, but one below GeoFS. That's what I'm gonna do. It is mobile, so you're very limited by that. But I do think it's very solid for a mobile flight sim. I feel like they honestly have similar graphics, but GeoFS wins because you can actually use hardware, which is a massive plus for any flight sim. Because if you're using anything besides flight sim hardware, you're not really simulating much, if that makes sense. Next up, we'll go straight to DCS. There are two flight sims in this world that I play regardless of filming or streaming sometimes. There are two flight sims that I'll actually play in my free time. DCS is one of them. DCS is free, although to get planes that you probably enjoy, you're gonna have to pay money because you don't really get much of anything just with the free one. You have to buy maps, which is a massive downside, but it is, as far as realism, one of the highest of any like commercial flight sim. Shooting down other planes may be one of the coolest things of all time. DCS is getting S tier, and I'll explain why it's not S+. I would give DCS would be the most clear S+ of all time if it had the whole world in it. It just would. Think how cool it would be to be able to fight other fighters and stuff over your hometown, or just fly around in a fighter that you know's physics are realistic in your hometown or in whatever mountain range you like or wherever. That's incredibly cool. Yeah, I wish it had the whole world, and it would be S+. Okay, BeamNG, not truly a flight sim, but BeamNG does have planes in it. Now, can you really do much with anything in BeamNG? Not really. Not really. This is getting F-. This is the only thing on this list that's on par with PTFS. Honestly, I'd rather fly a plane in BeamNG, I won't lie, because at least it'll look good. Can I not put this in front? At least the plane will look good in BeamNG, and it'll have cool crash physics. That's what it's got going for it. It's got crash physics, and the graphics aren't half bad, although the maps are going to be very small for flying. This is another thing interesting. I know BeamNG has airflow physics. It's not like, so for other driving games, for instance, like Assetto Corsa, it's not actually simulating downforce on a car. It's just saying, oh, this car creates this much downforce at this level, so we're gonna put this much more traction into the tires at this speed. It's not actually simulating any airflow, but BeamNG does, and that's why planes work in it, which is pretty cool. But yeah, BeamNG is going F-. Okay, Project Flight up next. Project Flight. The best flight sim that I have flown in Roblox, but it's Roblox. And I'm sorry I'm gonna make you guys mad, but this is my opinion. People are saying S+, which is absolutely wild. S+ is insane. Project Flight is the best Roblox flight sim I've played, as I said, but it's not, if you think Project Flight, even on a physics level, like War Thunder's like a game, but even on a physics level, it's not even near War Thunder. You can't use hardware like GeoFS and it doesn't have the graphics or planes and stuff as X-Plane Mobile. It's literally, I'm sorry, but it's worse than a mobile flight sim. Project Flight is going D. That's the highest Roblox flight sim that's gonna be on this list, and that's just how it is. Next up, let's touch on Infinite Flight. So Infinite Flight is a mobile flight sim, and from what I hear, not from firsthand experience, it's the best mobile flight sim out there. That's what I'm hearing on the grapevine, if that's the right word. The thing is, I need to try it. So, if you guys want to see me play Infinite Flight, please leave a comment. If I end up getting a VR headset, then whichever of these two flight sims gets the most liked comment in the comment section, I will play next, as long as I get a VR headset. Maybe we'll just play Infinite Flight next either way if I don't get a VR headset by then, but I do need to fly it. I know people are absolutely love it, and it's been around for a long time and has a lot of support, so I would definitely like to try Infinite Flight. Now, our last flight sim, X-Plane 12. Now, besides maybe like P3D or something like that, which I've never played P3D, I don't really have much interest in it. Besides like P3D or something, I would say it's probably the most realistic flight sim for airliners that's just commercially available to regular people, and it's not like something that actual pilots train on or anything. X-Plane 12, I had a great time playing it the first time I played it. Admittedly, I don't play it a lot. Like I said, the two sims I play off stream, DCS and Microsoft Flight Sim, that's about it. Beyond that, I'm not playing many flight sims. But X-Plane 12 is goated. It fixed the graphics issues from X-Plane 11, and X-Plane 11 is already A. I think X-Plane 12 has to go S, and the only reason it's not going S+ is because it didn't suck me in so much to make me play off stream. And I think that's a big difference, at least for between DCS and X-Plane for me. Now, that's the whole tier list. I actually put this tier list in my Discord, which I will link down below if you want to fill it out yourself, and then you can screenshot it and put it in my Discord. Feel free. We actually have like a little bit of a pattern going here. I didn't even notice that. And if you're mad at me, tell me why you're mad at a random video on the internet. Like the video if you liked it, dislike the video if you disliked it. And I'll see you next time.